Shameless plug incoming. Today's episode is brought to you by the book Everyone is a Sinner But Me, available now at Amazon.com and BarnesandNoble.com. Pre-recorded from Volpes Studios, it's the MCS1 show featuring Caleb Hannah and now your host, MCS1.
Welcome everyone to another awesome and exciting edition of the MCS1 show. I'm MCS1, once again joined via satellite, my dear friend and compadre, partner in crime, Caleb Hannon. What up, Caleb?
Dude, I feel great. I mean, I have like 1,000 new titles.
You really do.
Yeah,
you kind of do.
It feels good to be recognized for the titles that I deserve.
Does anyone else recognize you for that, or is it just me?
Nobody else recognizes me for anything.
Oh, well, damn. Wow, this got pretty dark. My own kids don't even know my face anymore. I mean,
dude,
I'm sure it's not that bad.
No, it's just...
They only call when they need money.
I mean, they don't even call. They don't even call, and they use the excuse of, I don't have a cell phone. And I'm like, dude, you don't even know. Go buy one.
Yeah, you don't even know. So this episode's kind of a long time coming, and by a long time, I mean probably like 6 months.
So pretty long by our standards, you know.
Pretty much anything that's 6 months old to us is just ancient.
Yeah, I mean it might as well just be like something that happened last millennia.
I know, seriously. So
just saying, you know.
So this is a long time coming. This is the today we're going to be talking about the Juggalo March.
That's the fanfare I think it deserves.
Yeah, seriously. That was like a mixed fanfare. I'm not sure if it was like encouraging or discouraging. It was kind of like right in the middle. It's like I don't even know, man.
You don't even know. UDEN, you know?
Yeah. So anyway, as I said like a year ago, which is obviously like double millennium ago.
It's quite a while. Let's be
quite
serious.
a while ago. I said, 2017 is going to be the year of marches.
Right.
And I'll be the first to admit I was mostly, but not completely wrong. I mean, there was still quite a few marches, but it wasn't as crazy as like 2017, the first couple months. Like everyone was going to march. Like there was going to be a march for like every cause known to civilization. And
I mean, I wanted more. You know, I expected more out of the outrage culture.
The people that are, to use Joe Rogan's phrase, the recreationally outraged.
Yep.
Yeah.
I expected more from the recreationally outraged.
I did too. Unfortunately, I got it not in the form of a march, but a bunch of social media posts.
I mean, that's much more annoying.
Yes, it is. And a march requires getting away from, your technology piece of choice to go, do something. But that's besides the point. So there was one march, though, that stood out to me more than anything else. And that was... As it should. And this is the Juggalo March. Now, we're going to give... Here's the thing. A lot of people who are listening are like, what the hell are you talking about? Because this isn't like... The thing is, and I've kind of noticed this, a lot of the stuff that we talk about on the show... It's like so far out there that people just don't get it.
Yeah.
Like, and I'm not saying like we're like on the cutting edge of things. It's just really weird stuff that people.
That seems a lot more accurate.
Yeah, that people don't talk about, and we got to start like getting some basic building blocks to go up to get people to understand what the hell is going on,
and also why it's funny,
and why it's yes, exactly, and. I feel that we've done a decent job of that in the past, but as we're beginning to cover more and more interesting crap, we really got to give a lot of like exposition to this type of stuff. So here's the exposition to the Juggalo March. So we got to go way back. We're going to go back to like the late 80s, early 90s.
Those were the days.
Oh, those were the days. So there was like a rap duo out of Detroit. They go by the names of Shag Too Dope and Violent J.
Oh, yuck. Yuck. I love them, but I hate them all at the same time.
I'll get into my feelings towards them. And they were from Detroit, the white rappers capital of the world. I mean, Kid Rock came out of there, Eminem, and these guys. And they had like their own unique sound that was just blasting, or not really blasting, not an appropriate word. I'd say cutting through is decent. It wasn't like cut through like the bone. It just somehow surfaced, not even above. It just surfaced through a lot of other things.
Right.
It kind of, I would say it cut through a lot of the one-hit wonders of the 90s.
I agree. I
feel that
they were like no-hit wonders.
Yeah, they kind of were. I mean, they really were, in all seriousness.
And they made a lot of money without any real big hits.
Yeah, they did, and that's to me that's pretty cool.
Well, yeah,
you don't see that type of consistency in artist anymore, or just generally ever.
Yeah, or in anything.
So, and we're just talking the late 80s, early 90s. We're not talking like the 2000s era when they started like becoming more quote mainstream. But so anyway, this group, this Violent J and Shag Too Dope, their group was originally called the Inner City Posse, but over time, they rebranded. They moved to more of like a twisted identity and became known as the Insane Clown Posse, or ICP for short. And they would have.
I'm sorry, I just love them.
Caleb, if you're not going to take this seriously, I'm going to have to ask you to leave the studio.
You know what, man?
The connection. No, don't go. I don't want to do the show alone. I don't like doing shows alone.
Anyway.
I'm like trying to say this all with like a straight face. And
I know, it's laughing. So hard. I can't, dude. It's just, I'm looking at a picture of them as we do this show.
I'm just going to mute you. So I can get through this. I'll know you're there, but not really there. It's like the thoughts and prayers type of crap, I
mean, it's more than I deserve, I guess, Anyway, I'll hold it together. I promise. No, I'm serious now.
I call bullshit.
Okay, you probably should.
So anyway, ICP, Insane Clown Posse, they had like tons of different various themes and little like staples to their brand for their band. It ranged from a lot of things, like a Detroit soda drink called Faygo, carnivals, hatchets, and just about anything superstitious that doesn't quite fall under religion.
Wait, Faygo doesn't fall under religion? Are you sure?
Well, I said, or just about anything else. So I mean,
okay.
Yeah, exactly.
I just wasn't sure. I wanted to be sure.
Now here's my connection with these guys. As I've mentioned a few times on the show, I grew up in the Midwest, which is kind of like the cultural void of the United States. Besides Provo, of course.
I was gonna say, I mean, they're
freaking Happy Valley, man. Yeah. And as far as music goes, it's pretty terrible out here. Like the culture here, unless you count country music, it's kind of like nothing. Garth Brooks can sell out like several nights at the same venue here constantly and have new fans every night. Like that's the type of market that exists in the Midwest for country music.
I mean, as he shouldn't,
As he shouldn't. And so I also kind of like lived a little bit of a sheltered life growing up. I didn't really start listening to music till I was like in 8th grade. And even then, the music I was listening to was kind of shitty.
Fair enough.
Like I started off like listening to like Ricky Martin and Britney Spears, like
Good Lord.
the pop, like the pop hits of the '90s, I guess. And then all of a sudden, I don't know how this happened, but somehow I got introduced to ICP. And
Was it one time when you were on PCP?
no, it was not.
'Cause that
Although
would make sense.
that would be probably a plausible excuse.
Yeah, you just be like, I was listening to the ICP when I was on the PCP, and then people would be like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah. Somehow I got introduced to them, and it's one of these bands that like you listen to, not because like you're fully into them or you like fully support what they rap about, but like out of the irony and humor of
Sure.
like the stuff they're saying. It's not really something you take seriously.
You
And,
can't. You can't. I mean,
yeah, and the people that do, we'll get into them a little bit more later on. But I grew up listening to them quite a bit, and usually it was like while I was playing video games. Mostly Doom. I was like a big Doom guy, as I mentioned on the show, but I would have like Insane Clown Posse like in the background if I'm like shooting up demons and stuff like that. It was pretty ridiculous. But you know, as I grew up, my taste evolved into other music that was also not culturally acceptable. Like Korn, System of a Down, and of course Nickelback.
Yep.
And,
No comment. No comment.
Speaking of Nickelback, I've mentioned this to Caleb a couple times, and I haven't really had a chance to mention it on the show, but I'm going to mention it now. There's a quote by Ayn Rand, and it's the smallest minority is the individual. And Caleb, Shane, and I, we were talking about this in our Discord chat once, and I said I can think of a minority even smaller than the individual, which is like outlandishly ridiculous because, like, obviously the individual is going to be the smallest minority.
Well, duh, because it's literally one person.
Yeah, and then I said Nickelback fans.
which is pretty accurate.
Which is pretty accurate in a way. And the sad thing is, it's like I am a Nickelback fan, and like I don't even hide it. I think it's hilarious that I enjoy them. But another story for another time. But I wanted to get that out there. It's just such a cheap joke.
Because it's it's important for our listeners to know.
Of course, the smallest minority is not the individual, but the Nickelback fan.
Right. I feel like we should change her quote and still accredit it to Ayn Rand, though.
Of course.
I
mean, at the rate things go with internet changing history, I don't see why not.
Yeah, geez. Which is, again, a topic for another day, but...
Exactly. So, where was I? Oh, yeah. So, back to their music. I'm not saying like their music influenced me a ton, because it was just something I listened to. And I wasn't like a diehard fan. There was this kid I went to high school with, and this is back in the day, like when you would like burn a CD from someone before you went on the internet and was torrenting stuff or downloading it. This was like kind of a little bit pre-Napster around that time. Yeah, just a little bit pre-Napster. Like the great way to get music from people was to like burn CDs.
Yep, I remember those days.
You remember?
Oh, I remember.
Yeah. And so I wanted to know, I heard you like listening to Insane Clown Posse. I'm like, hey bro, what albums you got? And he's like, oh well, I got all 5 Joker cards and this and that. And I'm just like, well, I don't understand what that means. And how am I supposed to know that? Like, he kind of took it with a badge of pride and like arrogance and like snobbery.
I don't even know what that means.
I don't. I'm like, what does that even mean? Like I don't even.
Brilliant.
Like I have no idea what that means. Apparently, it's like their first 5 albums, or like besides their demos or something like that. But
I don't know. I mean, you got me.
Yeah, I don't know, and I think that's what it is. To this day, I'm still not sure. Like, I don't even know, and I'm okay with that. Um,
As you should be.
as
Yeah.
I should be. But here's the thing: me and that other kid weren't the only ones listening to these guys. Like, they had quite a really crazy corner of the counterculture market. And then like they kind of went like not like huge mainstream, but slightly. They started becoming wrestlers for a while. They were
Oh boy.
they were in the WWF, and they were getting I used to watch wrestling like way back in the day. You know, for that like brief period of the '90s where wrestling was like at its peak of coolness.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I
Yeah,
remember
as
that.
cool as it could get. I mean, now you look
Right.
back, you're like, what was I thinking? Type of thing.
That's like most things, though.
Oh yeah, totally. It was during like slightly before that period, and they would constantly have their albums advertised during commercials
Fair enough.
as
I
well,
mean,
which was
it's
interesting.
the
Like,
only demographic that listens to them. So
I was about to say a similar comment. Um, so I mean, they had a really interesting market going on. Now, we talked about their fans a little bit, kind of like the people that take it too seriously. That kid that I mentioned, he took it pretty seriously, but not like insanely seriously. And they're fans that like take it like really hardcore. They're called juggalos.
yeah,
Uh,
yeah.
you say that with a little more disdain in your voice, Caleb.
I couldn't possibly do that.
Oh gosh. So here's the thing: they like the Insane Clown Posse period. The Juggalos have a really interesting dynamic to them. First of all, normally when we're describing different groups of like subcultures and things like that, we usually go to the Urban Dictionary. But
Which is the ultimate source of knowledge.
the ultimate source of knowledge, at least on this show. But here's something even crazier. They got a Wikipedia page for this shit.
They have a Juggalo's Wikipedia
They
page.
got a Juggalo's Wikipedia page.
That
Isn't
just makes me
insane?
so
That is
happy.
insane. Like, holy cow! Like, you got some exposure to your culture and like your group when you got a Wikipedia page. I mean, neckbeards, which we're gonna discuss at another time. They don't have a Wikipedia page. Chads don't have a Wikipedia page. Provo All Stars don't have a Wikipedia page.
Which is the ultimate disappointment.
Which is the ultimate disappointment because they're the ultimate disappointment. But yeah, they got a Wikipedia page. This is crazy. And here's some stuff from it. To quote Wikipedia, like everyone else seems to love doing. I'm actually reading it from something rather than just quoting it like I memorized it. So according to about what juggalos are, according to Shaggy 2 Dope, juggalos come from all walks of life, from poverty, from rich, from all regions, all colors. It doesn't matter if you're born with a silver spoon in your mouth or a crack rock in your mouth.
Because that's the thing that people are born with in their
course.
mouths.
Juggalos compared themselves to a family. Some common characteristics to identifying a member of the Juggalo subculture are as follows: drinking and spraying the inexpensive soft drink Faygo, listening to horrorcore and other types of underground rap music, wearing face paint, generally those either like an evil clown or perhaps similar to corpse paint, wearing hatchet gear, and hatchet gear is kind of like a clothing line via ICP. Hatchet's like one of their staples.
Oh man.
Of their brand, basically. Having Hatchet Man logo applied to personal effects and die cast and worn as jewelry. And I'm just gonna say right here, I've seen a couple Hatchet Man tattoos as well. It was like the ultimate Juggalo branding right there. Like it was insane.
Oh boy.
Doing hair spider leg style.
What? Why is that a thing?
I had braids at one time. Did you know this, Caleb?
Did you have braids?
Yeah, I really did. Hey, I've had braids a couple times in my life.
Okay, I was unaware.
Yeah, I had like long hair in high school, and occasionally I would braid it. It was pretty baller.
I can get behind that. I don't know why you don't do that now.
Probably because I'm going bald, and my day job doesn't really allow such a thing. That's pretty much it.
So
Shut up. Anyway, displaying the gesture of a wicked clown and the West Side sign with the left hand and the C sign in ASL on the right, like West Side and then a C, wicked clown type of thing,
Right,
with arms crossed over.
right. That's
Making
normal.
making
That's
and
regular human behavior.
yeah, that sadly, I know you said it's a joke, but it kind of is. Like it really is.
No, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. If you were
No,
wrong,
no,
then
no,
you'd be saying
definitely not.
something, but
Definitely
you're
not. Making and responding to whoop whoop calls.
Yeah, what? Why?
I don't know.
Why?
That's the thing. I've listened to like not a ton, but a decent amount of ICP to not really get this. But and lastly, expressing a generally tongue-in-cheek obsession with murder, committed with a blade weapon.
Yeah, I definitely would love to see someone who is a big fan of the Juggalos, or a big fan of the ICP doing that.
Yeah,
Because I just generally assume that they are also synonymous with neckbeards, and it just makes me happy.
Oh gosh,
I know they're not. I just like to juxtapose
like
them.
to bunch them in that same category.
Well, yeah. I mean, neither one of them are ever going to get laid.
Oh gosh. So moving on away from the Wikipedia thing, another thing that was really interesting is there are also female juggalos.
Yeah, when I read that earlier today, as I was going through these notes, I was like, "Wow, that is a." And I definitely Googled it because I was like, "Nah, that can't be." And then it was true.
I'm not gonna lie, some of them are kind of hot. It's really weird.
Really?
Like, yeah, I was kind of like, I'm not saying like I wasn't expecting it, but I kind of wasn't expecting it. But some were kind of hot, and I was like, wow, this is kind of weird, but kind of cool at the same time. I don't know. It was just something interesting to bring up. So this is not an all bros club, not an all boys club. Is probably the best way of putting it. Right. So there are female juggalos called juggalettes, and then a huge group of juggalos and juggalettes, like the collection of them. They refer to themselves as family.
That's that's not weird.
Yeah. And then also from the Wikipedia page, something else I wanted to work noting is there's like various benefits and charities that have been done by juggalos as well.
Really? That's nice.
Yeah, and I'm not going to get into those because it's like something you can look up on your own time. We want to get to more important things like the Juggalo March and other stupid things that are ridiculous to talk about. And so speaking of ridiculous, here's something that I want to get into. So right before I get into March, I got to address this. So something really kind of funny is so Caleb, did you know, and you probably know this, once I was a juggalo?
I did.
Oh.
I think we talked about this a while ago.
We have a couple times. Also, I just want to point out that once I was a juggalo sounds like a great name for a shitty MTV type of documentary.
Oh, totally, man.
Yeah, the kinds where it's like they have terrible music from modern artists just playing in the background, but set so loud you got to turn on subtitles or closed captioning to find out what the hell people are saying or what's going on. Like True Life, that type of shit. Gosh, those are so terrible.
I would like it though to be more in the style of the VH1 behind the music.
Yeah, that would be way cooler. That would be way nicer. But I didn't really grow up on those. I grew up on the shitty MTV ones. So I don't even have a good. I'm familiar with the VH1 ones, but I'm more familiar with like terrible MTV ones. They're just like so terrible. Like,
why are they so bad? Like, how is VH1 so good at it? But
I don't
then
know.
MTV is so bad at it, and
Aren't
it's
they
like,
owned by the same company too?
I think so. I mean, and if they're not, I mean,
Gosh.
they do basically the same thing.
One just does it crappier.
Yeah, which I guess it makes sense.
It's kind of like when you start off the job at the same company, they're like, all right, you're going to work at MTV for a couple of years. And when you quit sucking, we'll let you move over to VH1.
yeah, it's got to be something like that where it's like, this is how we weed out the idiots.
Yeah. Or it's like, oh, you want to intern? I'm just going to put you over in MTV with all the other idiots.
The other interns. And then, you look at you look at the content that MTV puts out in general, and it's like, yeah, that makes sense.
Oh gosh, no kidding. So anyway, once I was a Juggalo, this is a great story. So one year for Halloween, Shane Barker and I and one of his other friends. This was like the first year I met Shane, by the way. So this is back in like 2010, I think.
Jeez, that's a long time ago.
I know, and it might have even been before I met you, Caleb. I don't know, or maybe I can't remember. No, I think we met around that time, but we weren't like buddy type of thing.
Fair enough.
I think that's what it was. And so Shane and I, like, when we met like around late March, early April, 2010, and I was showing him all this weird stuff I just knew from the Midwest, and one of them was like Miracles by the Insane Clown Posse, the song, which is outlandishly ridiculous. I'll probably post a link to that video in the show, the blog post on the mts1show.com site. But it's super funny because we were watching it and it was just like the most ridiculous thing ever. And he thought it was so funny. He's like, I hate this band, but I can't stop listening to this song. And and then like we like eventually he got the song Miracles, like he downloaded it. And then there was this meme going around online, like to the whole you wouldn't download this or that type of thing, like in response to the piracy ads, like you wouldn't download a car, or my personal favorite is you wouldn't download a pizza, and it's like, yes, I would.
Dude, if it was possible, I'd download pizzas all day.
Oh my gosh, I wouldn't leave the house ever if I could just download pizza.
Especially if it was free.
Yeah, exactly. And then we found a meme. It was like one of the guys from ICP, and it's like, you wouldn't download Miracles.
Which is, by the way, my favorite ICP song.
Yeah, I think it's a lot of people, because it's the one people are most familiar with, to be fair.
It's because it's ridiculous.
It's ridiculous, and it's kind of cool. It's catchy. It's interesting. I like it, but I'm a little biased, I will admit. So anyway, we were listening to this, and not like all summer, but like we were hanging out a lot of the time. We would just play it. And so I don't know who said it. Might have been me. It was probably me, because I come up with all sorts of stupid ideas. And I was like, dude, let's go with Juggalos for Halloween.
Oh no.
And so me, Shane, his friend, and I, we all dressed up as Juggalos for Halloween. And actually the thumbnail picture we have for this episode, that's actually Shane and I for the Juggalo March.
Dressed as Juggalos, huh?
Dressed as Juggalos, like we did for Halloween.
Natural habitat.
Yeah, and it was pretty funny because it was just something ridiculous that we did. And here's the thing: all those pictures that like we took during that Halloween, like they kind of haunt Shane to this day. His family and his friends like thought he was heavily into ICP after that, and he just dressed up as a joke.
Yeah.
And so they'd be like, oh, we hear you're in that Insane Clown Posse, Shane. He goes, no, I'm not. And it's funny because that's how he talks too. Like when he gets like slightly defensive, he's like, no, I'm not. And his eyes get like all big. Like he's kind of joking, but he's like, I will kill you if you keep discussing this type of thing. And
I kind of want to mention it to him now.
Dude, mention it to him. I do it to him all the time. Yeah, he hates it. Well, one day, ICP was coming through, and they were going to show at Salt Lake at the complex.
Sure.
And I was begging Shane, and this might have been back when we had the group me chat instead of Discord. So I don't know if you saw this or not, Caleb, but I was
I might have, but
just
don't remember.
begging him, man. I really wanted him to go to this concert. Dude, let's just go. I still got some of that face paint. We can do this again. And he's all like, no, I'm not doing this. And I just kept trying, and he just kept giving out a solid no. He didn't even give excuses. He wouldn't even entertain the idea. And personally, I don't blame him. Well, Shane didn't really shut off his Facebook preferences of privacy and a bunch of other things. So you can tag him and stuff, and it automatically shows up on his wall.
Right.
For all of his friends to see. So I uploaded a couple of those pictures of us from the Halloween thing because we kind of were in like a dark, like bowling alley. So it looked like we were at a concert. And so I uploaded it, and I did a tag to check us in at the complex. And said, Dark Carnival returns, y'all. And I put the picture of Shane, of Shane and I from Halloween 2010. And
and I'm sure he was pleased.
He ran with it. His brother was like, dude, Shane, what happened to you? And so Shane ran with it, but it kind of I'm sure it didn't help his street cred with him telling everyone that he doesn't listen to them.
Well, it definitely didn't. I mean, I would say that it definitely made others believe it even more that he does.
Yeah, and here's the son gets a little older, and I'm gonna tell him, like, yeah, man, your dad, him and I, we were like the coolest juggalos ever. But eventually
he'll be like, what's a juggalo?
Yeah, I feel like I'm just gonna introduce him to this terrible culture and be like, your dad was like this, but then one day, he sold out and decided to, get a job and give in to the man or whatever.
Dude, when you plan this, I expect to be included.
Okay, it's going to be at least 10 years from now.
Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter when it is.
Oh boy, I'm glad Shane does not listen to the show because he'd be pissed. But
he'd know our plans. We can't have that.
Exactly. So, anyway, now that we've covered like what a juggalo is, how I once was a juggalo, and everything. Now we can get to the march. We've been building up for this for a while. Drum roll,
that
please.
Fateful day.
Exactly. So, here's why the Juggalo March took place. Basically, what happened was they were getting so large was that the FBI branded them or like set them up as a gang.
What?
Yeah, the FBI
these are
gang
just harmless clown face wearing idiots.
Yeah, the FBI gang task force labeled them as a gang. The Juggalos were a gang.
That makes no sense to me.
Well, I mean, I don't know. It's something to do for the feds. I don't know. I'm not sure. Because here's the thing. Generally speaking, Juggalos. Right. I mean, we're talking. Caleb and I, mostly Caleb here, are talking a lot of smack about them. but generally, they're not violent people.
No, they're not. They're not. They're super reasonable. There's regular people who have a certain
weird cultural dynamic going on.
Sure,
everyone's got it.
Sure. That's not a problem though.
Yeah, like down to brass tacks, they're not bad people, or even close, really.
No, I mean, absolutely not.
So it's so to hear them classified as a gang, kind of crazy. Now, the only thing that I could think of that would label them as a gang or violence was every year they have something called the Gathering of Juggalos, which is a concert put on by Insane Clown Posse and other affiliate bands of theirs. One year, Tila Tequila was there for some, I don't know. Not sure why
I never know why she does things.
I never know why she's there, what she's doing, or anything. I'm just like, I don't know how she's still existing now that MySpace is gone, but that's besides the point.
Yeah, it's whatever though. She can, it's cool.
Yeah, and apparently there was like a little bit of a riot, and like she got kind of messed up, like while she was in a trailer. I think it pushed over. I don't know the full report, much less care. I know it sounds terrible to say, but I kind of don't. But that's really the only incident that I can think of. And it's a very isolated incident. And so,
Well, yeah, I mean that's like tiny,
yeah,
you know.
I mean,
If we're being honest.
yeah, we are. I feel that's one drop of water in an endless sea type of thing.
Right.
And so that's the only thing I can think of why they would get labeled as this. And so the Insane Clown Posse, they didn't lightly.
Right.
And so they're like, well, we're going to protest to, fight the FBI on this or whatever. Everyone else was marching, so why not?
Sure.
So it's like, Juggalos might as well get on in on the action. And so
yeah. I mean, why not?
And so, on September 16th, 2017, a gathering of about 3,000 people
Jeez.
went on this march. Now, here's the other thing. This was also the pro-Trump Patriot Day march as well. So I'm not sure if some of the same people were included in these groups of juggalos. I'm kind of imagining like some old, veteran with cargo shorts marching next to some clowns.
Sure.
And it's a very interesting image I'm composing. But but here's the thing that it was a lot of people who showed up for this, and this is like something like if I didn't have a day job and all I did was do stuff for the show or whatever and was a reporter or something like that. This is something I would totally go to, and just watch. I don't know. I'd probably actually paint my face and go incognito, knowing me. I mean, I went to a Trump rally doing a similar thing with a "Make America Great Again" hat, and I didn't vote for Trump by any means.
No. I think that's very well known.
So, so here's the thing: as they were marching, there was a lot of people holding signs at every march and protest type of thing.
Right. That's what you do.
Yeah, and so here were some of the signs, and these aren't in any particular order of the ones I love the most or like a top 10 list or whatever. Although there are about, let me see here, one. There's about 9. There's not 10. Crap. I was really hoping we could do a David Letterman top 10.
Dang it.
Type of thing.
Well, we could make one up and just not tell everybody else what it is, and then be like,
sounds good.
Guess the fake one.
Sounds good to me. Number 10, the fake one.
Dang it! You told him the fake one. Come on, man.
All right, so let's just start here. So here's the here. Let's just start down the list. So some of the sayings include, "I'm a juggalette, not a gang member." I'm not gonna lie; these were really creative. Like,
no, I'm not mad. It's just so great.
Oh yeah, I thought so too. Clown lives matter.
That's my favorite one.
That's your favorite one.
That's my favorite one.
Music is not. Sorry, go on.
The reason is that I'm terrified of clowns.
Really?
And I know that their lives don't matter.
Oh gosh, I'm actually not afraid of clowns, and I feel like I'm the only person in the U.S. that is on that bandwagon.
Is Shane afraid of clowns?
I don't know. Well, I mean, he was once a juggalo like me, but other than that, I don't know.
Yeah, but I mean, we all know that was fake.
Yeah, of course. Music is not a crime.
Fair.
Juggalo rights matter.
Just great.
Juggalo family forever.
Okay.
If my family is a gang, so are the police.
I mean, aren't they?
I don't know. Grab America by the posse.
Okay.
I gotta give it to him.
My second favorite.
I gotta give it to him. That one's good. Great play on words.
Yep.
Fago and hugs, not war and drugs.
Also great. I mean, they rhymed and everything in that one.
Yeah, they're
it's beautiful.
They're creative with this. Judge me not by the color of my face paint,
which is both white and black. So fair.
And then last one. This is my favorite. I feel this trumps any of the others, but I mean, this is pure subjective. Jesus is a juggalo.
I mean, if anyone was going to be. It was very clearly Jesus.
Of course. So after the march, a makeshift concert was held at the Lincoln Memorial. Overall, like I view this protest as that could have been something that went crazy and gotten violent, but it didn't. And I gotta say, that's the real beauty of it.
Absolutely, that's
Because
awesome. And then they had a concert.
Yeah, because these are the people that got pegged to be a gang, and they're kind of social oddity, not exactly culturally acceptable, have a lot of quote violence, ingrained into the lyrics,
Sure.
and the culture of it, but they didn't act out, no fighting, nothing like that, and I think that's awesome. I got to applaud the Juggalos, and I dare say I respect them for the way they conducted themselves.
Indeed, sir. Indeed.
So I think the best way to I guess end the show is I'm going to read from juggalomarch.com, and I feel like this is the best way to conclude everything. Let the world know how it all went down.
Very appropriate.
Okay. Juggalos, we have made history, literally, on Saturday, September. Your laugh, Caleb, it got to me.
I'm sorry. I just love it when people use literally.
I think this is going to be in the history books. Like, people are going to be like, 2017, only one person said it was the year of marches, and there was like 5. I mean,
go ahead.
That type of thing. More than 3,000 juggalos and non-juggalos made a permanent notch in the chronicles of American history at the Juggalo March. Dude, I got commended. That's pretty good word. That's pretty good, like, wordplay right there.
Oh yeah, no, that's genius. That's genius.
There we were, a family united in rock-solid unity, making our voices heard, shouted to the world what we know as gospel truth. We are a family united by music, love, fellowship, and what is that word, Caleb?
Camaraderie.
That's it. Yes. And not a gang or any other criminal-minded organization. And the world listened. As a direct result of the Juggalos family coming together as one stoppable force, the media erupted into a frenzy, telling why we were marching on Washington. The pathetic history of the 2011 FBI Gang Task Force report, labeling Juggalos as a loosely organized hybrid gang.
That seriously is ridiculous, though. I mean,
yeah, it is so ridiculous.
Listen to their music or not, there's no way that Juggalos are gang members. Sorry, guys, but
stop. And almost unanimously agreed with us that labeling is ridiculous, damaging, and un-American. We are hopeful that this will turn the tide of public opinion about the Juggalo family and positivity affect our ongoing litigation against the U.S. Department of Justice as we seek to have our good name restored by the FBI by having the FBI issue an official retraction of their 2011 report, which continues to have devastating effects on Juggalo lives across the nation, ranging from denial of military service to loss of child custody to the most common consequence being added to a local and or state gang list for wearing Juggalo-related merchandise or tattoos.
That's honestly silly.
Yeah, it's really silly, like the whole thing.
Yeah, not the response, but honestly, I think that their response is actually pretty. It's very level-headed.
Very level-headed.
Yeah, but the fact that these people are getting labeled anything like that is ridiculous. Like I find them hilarious.
Yeah, totally.
And I think that I definitely have different musical tastes, but I would never assume that somebody who listens to Insane Clown Posse is automatically in a gang because they listen to Insane Clown Posse.
Yeah, true.
That doesn't make any sense. I mean, all they want to do is grab America by the posse.
Continuing the statement, Psychopathic Records and its legal team, which includes the assistance of the American Civil Liberties Union, is due back in court for oral agreements in the 6th District Court on October 11, 2017. And I still haven't gotten an update from this, by the way. I looked at this up probably a week ago. Sure. The fight and the Dark Carnival will carry on.
No boy.
Um,
The Dark Carnival.
the Dark Carnival. For now, we want to say two very important words to the Juggalo family. Thank you. Thank you to each and every person who attended the Juggalo March or who supported its mission, even if they couldn't personally be in Washington, D.C. Thank you to all the marshals who volunteered their time and effort in picking up trash, ensuring that the march route was followed to a T, and that all other miscellaneous effort they made towards ensuring the Juggalo March was such an outstanding success. And I feel that's a good spot to wrap up our show.
Absolutely. Agreed.
All right.
Way to go, Juggalos.
Yeah, way to go, Juggalos. I want to thank for coming on. And until next time, take care of yourself and each other. Peace.
Thank you for listening to the MCS1 show. For bi-weekly episodes on society and counterculture, subscribe on iTunes, Google Play, or Stitcher. For regular updates, show notes, and links, head to the mcs1show.com or search AOL keyword MCS1.
Boom.
That was a great show.
Yeah.
That was a lot of fun. Juggalo. I'm sorry,
we shouldn't have
man.
been putting it off for so long. That was
Oh no, definitely not.
Yeah, but the thing was we had so much other stuff to talk about.
No, we really and dude, the thing is that certain things kept happening like that were
Vid
outside
Angel.
of our control that needed to be addressed.
No, I get it. It's like think about like the like I said, scheduled out everything of how I want it week by week forever. Like, but there's just so much random stuff that keeps popping up that it's like we got to cover this now because it is something that is awesome.
It's raw.
It's raw, and we want people to hear about it from us rather than I don't know their dumb friend in their Facebook group for their yard sale, Facebook group or whatever.
Oh my gosh! Yeah,
Ted's posting about the Juggalos again. I mean. He's always posting about that and whatever.
Why does he keep posting about that?
Doesn't Ted have a life?
I don't know about this Ted character.
Oh my gosh.
Because I'm in the Juggalo March, obvious. Because I'm in the Juggalo March, obvious.